The movie is starred by James Caan, who is playing Paul Sheldon, Kathy Bates, who is Annie Wilkes, and Richard Farnsworth, who is playing Buster. The movie is directed by Rob Reiner.
Paul Sheldon is a famous writer, and he just finished his book. He was on his way home from his hideaway when the weather turned for the worst, and he got into a car crash. His stalker picked him up and is now holding him captive in her house.
A scene I loved was when Paul Sheldon shoved paper down Annie's throat and said, "Eat it!" It was by far the funniest scene in the movie. Eat it!
I hated the scene where Annie broke Paul's ankles with a sledgehammer after she found out he got out of his room. It was really, really gross looking in the movie.
I know you've been out, Paul.
What?
You've been out of your room.
No, I haven't.
The penguin that usually faces north was facing south. You know what we do to bad boys that get out?
No. A scene that surprised me was when Annie attacked Paul in the middle of the night because she didn't like how Misery died in his book. It didn't make any sense to me because I thought Annie loved all of Paul's books. The fact that she was upset with one of his was really surprising.
Misery can't die!
What?
Misery can't die!
Why?
Burn your book and start over.
Fine.
The scene that freaked me out was when Paul was out of his room and snooping, and Annie was on her way home. The creepy music adds to the suspense. He knocked over one of her penguins and put it back facing the wrong way. We all knew that she would notice that because of her extreme OCD. We all wanted Paul to get back into his room in time so he wouldn't get in trouble.
A scene that made me laugh was when Paul was sitting in the front window of Annie's house and she waved to him from outside and said, "Hi, pumpkin," and Paul just gave her the finger back and she said, "Oh, you're such a kidder," thinking he was just joking when he actually was really pissed off at her. It was a great, funny scene because just how stupid and oblivious Annie is.
Hi, Pumpkin. Well, you're just a kidder.
The line that Annie said that I really liked or thought was really funny was when she said, "Think of me as your inspiration." And she said it really creepy, and it was when she was making Paul write a book for her even though he didn't want to and didn't have ideas to write it. Can't think of anything?
Nope.
Well, think of me as your inspiration.
Okay. I think the movie's message is never give up. If you're looking at it from Paul's point of view, he never gave up and survived. He was captured by Annie and was pretty much going to die, but he fought through it and ended up killing her and surviving.
I'd recommend this movie to thrill seekers about our age or maybe a little bit older because there are a few parts that young audience may not understand, like crude humor, but it is a really good movie overall.
I would recommend this movie to anyone over the age of 12 because it grabs your attention and is so intense. Although there are some immature scenes for younger viewers, but it's a really funny movie and anyone would enjoy this movie.